Hi everyone, I would like to share with you one of the most interesting articles which I found about the self-motivation. It made a difference in my mind. So let's talk and think more about how important it can be in our lives. Self-motivation is the force that drives us to do things, right? People can be motivated in many things, both external and internal, such as a desire to do some things, love of someone, or need for money. Usually, motivation is a result of several factors. The ability to motivate yourself, self-motivation, is an important skill. Self-motivation drives people to keep going even in the face of setbacks, to keep up opportunities, and to show commitment to what they want to achieve. Let's define what is motivation itself. Motivation is what pushes us to achieve our goals, feel more fulfilled, and improve our overall qualities of life. Motivation is one of the 3 areas of the personal skills that are integral to the concept of emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman, the author of several seminal books on the emotional intelligence, identified 4 elements that make up motivation. So let's share it. Personal drive to achieve. This is the first. The desire to improve or meet certain standards. The second one is commitment to personal or organizational goals. The third one is initiative, which he defined as a readiness to act on opportunities. The fourth one is optimism, the ability to keep going, to pursue goals in the face of setback. This is also known as a resilience. To improve self-motivation, it is therefore helpful to understand more about these individual elements. So the first one, personal drive to achieve. You could think of a personal drive to achieve as an ambition or perhaps personal empowerment. However, it is also worth thinking about in terms of mindset. There are 2 types of mindsets, fixed and growth. Fixed mindset is the belief that talent is ingrained and that we cannot change our level of ability. Growth mindset, people believe that they can improve their skills through hard work and effort. Research shows that those who believe that they can improve, they are far more likely to achieve in whatever sphere they choose. A growth mindset is therefore an important element in a personal drive to succeed. So the second one was commitment to goal. There is considerable evidence, even if much of it is anecdotal, the goal setting is important to our general well-being. Albert Einstein said, if you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. You should get goals beyond your reach, so you always have something to live for. Ted Turner. The greater danger for most of us isn't that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that is too low and we reach it, said Michelangelo. It certainly makes sense that if we at nothing, it is easy to achieve it, and that most of us need something in our life to aim towards. Having an awareness of where you wish to be and an understanding of how you plan to get there is a vital of staying motivated. So the third one, initiative. Initiative is effectively the ability to take advantage of opportunities when they occur. It is all too easy to hesitate and then the opportunity may be gone. However, the old saying, look before you leap and fools rush in where angels fear to tread, have a lot of truth in them, right? It is also important to think things through and ensure that they are making the right decisions for you. Initiative can therefore be considered as a combination of courage and good risk management. Risk management is necessary to ensure that you identify the risk opportunities to consider and they have appropriate level of risk for you. Courage is necessary to overcome the fear of unknown inherent in new opportunities. The fourth part is optimism or resilience. Optimism is the ability to look on the bright side or think positively. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after the setback, to keep positive in the face of challenges. These two closely related, also not exactly the same. Resilient people use their ability to think as a way to manage negative emotional responses to events. In other ways, they use positive or rational thinking to examine and, if necessary, overcome reactions that they understand may not be entirely logical. They are also prepared to ask for help if necessary, as well as to offer their own generously if it is needed to others. If you are feeling stuck, unfocused and uninspired, you are probably looking for ways to increase the motivation, right? When your motivation is not all in times low, there are things that you can transform this stuckness into energy and motivation. For many of us, we get stuck in getting ready process, like we never make a first step. So, how can we live in everyday life with clear intention to get closer to achieving our goals and living a happy, motivated life? The best way to increase motivation is to power up our self-motivation. How can we do it? We have to light our own fire. It is not enough simply to wait for inspiration to kick our forward process. It does not have to be something that happens to you. Actually, it can be something that you create. All progress and self-motivation starts with taking action. One action will lead to another. Action and achievements will create better outcomes and new experiences for you. Let's reduce the to-do list for ourselves to increase the motivation. First thing that you can do is increase motivation by simplifying. For that, we can creatively plan our life. This allows us to simplify. Transform complexity into simplicity by doing less for some time. Doing less and focusing on the things that you love will help you to increase motivation. When you are more focused, your motivation increases. The second thing that you can do is focus on your accomplishments. One of the things that reduces motivation and causes procrastination is that we measure our success not from how far we have come, but from how away we are from our dreams and ideas. If we can change our mindset and become more conscious of how our brain is working, we can set ourselves up for a motivation boost. We can talk in specifics rather than generally. There is an opportunity to feel happier and more energized. Start training your brain to measure specifics, which grounds your feelings in reality and can increase motivation. The third thing that you can do is shift your motivation from getting to giving. Some people focus on what they can get out from life and relationships. It's all about me. But however, if you come from a position of serving and helping and being more consciously awake to the world around you, your mindset can shift from merely receiving to giving. And when you create this shift coming from a piece of giving, your brain starts coming up with more and more creative ways to spread more and more abundance. It's far more satisfying to focus on giving. If you really focus on this, it can become a true purpose for you. Create and repeat new positive habits. Sometimes the smallest shifts create the biggest results. For example, when you start a new habit, it can be going to gym, doing yoga, creating videos, or improving your speaking. The key is consistency and repetition. By actually doing something new over and over again, your brain wires new pathways that help you create incremental improvements. The key to everything is to stay with it. Another fifth thing that you can do to increase the motivation is increase gratitude. Boost your motivation with gratitude. If you express gratitude for what you have, you are less ambitious and fixated on what other people have. When you express gratitude to the important people in your life, it changes how you perceive them and how they feel about you. With these feelings, everything is appreciated. It increases your energy and feeling of abundance. Expressing gratitude also makes us a lot more creative, deepens our motivation. Handwritten notes, more expressive feelings, intentions notes, or calls to the people that matter most become commonplace. The thing about gratitude, though, is that it requires an active pursuit in all areas of your business and life. It is not about what person has done for you. It is about how you feel about them and their value to you. There are a lot of ways to increase the motivation, increase your energy, to increase your motivation. Energy is a huge motivator. If we are fired up or excited about someone or something, we are usually very motivated. Think about the last thing you achieved something important. Your motivation and energy at that time was high. For example, if you have beaten your best time on the track, or lost weight you wanted, or won a big piece of business, your energy will be sky high, or you will want to dive back in again to improve about the things that you are doing. You bring your high levels of your energy. The idea is spend more time doing things that motivate you. There are two main types of motivators, intrinsic and extrinsic. In their simplest form, you can think about these two types of motivations as intrinsic, related to what we want to do, the inside power to perform an action or task based on the expected or perceived satisfaction of performing the action or task. Intrinsic motivators include having fun, being interested, and personal challenge. Extrinsic, related to what we have to do, to perform an action or task in order to attain some sort of external reward, including money, power, for example, grades. It can be. Different people are motivated by different things and at different times in their lives. The same task may have more intrinsic motivators at certain times and more extrinsic motivators at others, and most tasks have a combination of two types of motivations. We all have a tendency to work better when we love what we are doing. It is easier to get out of the bed in the morning. We are happier in our work and happier in general. Research shows that this is particularly important when we are under stress. It is much easier to cope with stress and long hours if we generally enjoy the work. Intrinsic motivators therefore play a big part in the self-motivation for most of us. The importance of obligation, here it comes. What about if a task has neither intrinsic or extrinsic motivators? The obvious conclusion is that we are unlikely to do it because it will be pointless. We all know it does not always work like that. There is further issue, feelings of obligations. Obligation motivators are not strictly either intrinsic or extrinsic, but can still be very powerful. Obligation comes from our personal ethics, senses of duty, what is right and what is wrong. You may feel obliged to go to a party, for example, because you are invited by somebody you know. There will be no obvious extrinsic or intrinsic benefits to you attending, but you may worry that you will offend or upset your friend if you don't go. You are more likely to enjoy the party, however, if you go with a positive and open attitude, expecting it to be fun. This adds an intrinsic fun and enjoyment. Everything comes one step at a time. Becoming self-motivated or even just improving your self-motivation a little will not happen in overnight. There are many skills involved and you cannot expect to develop all of them instantly. However, a better understanding of the elements of motivation and particularly how they fit together should help to increase skills. Just remember, Rome was not built in a day.